Well, I'm waiting. So I said 2 o'clock, and it's just now 2 o'clock. I started up the software a little bit early though because, things go wrong. Here's a mess today. Okay, so I am going to talk a little bit. It's weird for me just to sit here. Leading up to next week, I'll probably be doing these live chats. Basically, just sitting here, waiting to see if anybody has any questions about setting up their teams. I sent out an email, haven't really got any response. I'm assuming that you guys are not having any problem with that. Not really seeing anybody at all, really. Okay. So get that done, right? I 100% support the fact that, just put it this way, if I were Becky, I would not get on a bus and come down here to the CCLA. Not until a while. Buses are germy, you know. Um, I'm surprised Jesse's doing it because buses are germy, right? So I support that, but here's the thing. While I do support it, I also kind of have to have your all's back as far as what can be counted as hours and attendance by the state. While everything was closed down, there were they were way lenient, way more lenient than I expected they were going to be. Okay. And I'm sure you noticed I was counting a bunch of stuff for hours of attendance because they wanted you guys to stay engaged and not give up because it wasn't your fault, right? They're starting to scale that back. And you know how I did the videos, and if you guys comment on the videos, you guys got an hour contact credit. You actually have to attend while I'm doing the video. Okay, it has to be more like a Zoom or a live. This is a live chat. Okay, hopefully gonna have the opportunity to record this one. Here's the thing, though. All right, yes, once I get Teams up and running, I have big plans to have lots of software that does some really amazing things that we can do during a Teams chat. Okay. But there are times that it's going to be more like the start of this video, where I'm just kind of quiet, waiting to see if anybody has any questions. Okay. That's okay. Sometimes you guys might come in here with a whole packet full of questions, right? And I need to be able to give some time for that. There are going to be organized lectures on the Teams, but there's also going to be quiet time. And if you are signed in during that quiet time, you could be sitting and working on a worksheet packet, but you're signed into class, right? And that is equivalent to you coming here, sitting down, and working on some worksheets, okay? I'm here in case you need me for something, but really, it's your you time. You're working on it, but I still want you to get the credit for working, right? Yeah, you get once you turn the worksheets in, you get credit for that too. But when's the last time somebody came in here with a whole packet of worksheets? I can't tell you, right? Not to be doomsday on you, okay? West Virginia has been awesome, all right? I have a lot of my homies live over in Kentucky. I lived over there for 15 years. And their governor right now, he's doing a good job and everything, but their unemployment, whoo, there's people that file for unemployment on day one when everything shut down that still haven't got a legendary dime of unemployment. Period. So if you're wondering why on the news, well, why is everybody getting evicted and why is everybody losing their house and why? All right. I mean, there are some people over here in West Virginia that, you know, because of an odd circumstances or something like that, that they might have not received anything since we closed down. I'm talking the vast majority. Okay. So in the interim, in the United States, not just here in West Virginia, but in the United States, the amount of people that have went to DHHR and applied for supplemental services like SNAP and Medicaid that have never asked for that kind of assistance before ever are astronomical. So under the weight of that, expect for them to become strict on things, right? So that's the way it works, right? They get stressed out, the system gets stressed out, the people that the system's supposed to serve end up carrying the brunt of that stress, right? That's unfortunately the way the world works. So if you have a probation officer, if you have um, housing assistance, if you have um, unemployment benefits, if you're on TANF, if you're on SNAP, if you are doing anything that you are supposed to report hours, all right, you need to start attending the lives so I can count you here. All right. Now, I can't do like I did over the break. I am going to save this one, and I am going to save all of them. Okay. I will save all of them because I'm not going to do a big lecture and then um, just discard it. So once I'm making a bunch of slides and they're really cool, and you get to answer them as you go along. And there's two ways that you can answer. You can answer them live while I am teaching the class, or if I save the class, then you can do it at your own pace. So all my people that are essential workers that have been working crazy, wild, wonderful overtime for this whole thing, and they can't attend class because they're doing that, you'll still be able to gain access to the information so you can work towards your goal. And I can give you credit for any homework that is attached to the lesson, but I can't mark that you have, say, if the lecture takes 3 hours, you don't get that 3 hours, okay? Because you didn't attend it live. Now you get credit for all of the work that you do during that 3 hours. And really, though, the way that it's set up, um, that's beneficial too. You know what I mean? So say you show up to a lecture. Say I'm doing a quill lecture, or I'm explaining something in geometry, or we're doing a science lesson, and or watching a science video together, and you are supposed to comment on it after it's over, blah, 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 right? If you're doing that live and I see you in attendance over there, the whole time you're in attendance, you get credit, the same as if you sign the book out there out front, okay? But as you go along in a lesson, there'll be the opportunities for you to get more credit for doing the lesson. Now, the person that attends and does the lesson will get more credit than you. Same as here, right? If you worked here all day and then you took homework home and brought it back, you would get your attendance for the day, and you'd also get attendance for your homework. That's how life works, okay? So that's how that works, all right? We are going to keep our Google Classroom, okay? And I sent out an Instagram, and I know it sounds nasty. I didn't mean it to sound grouchy. I meant it to sound stern. It's a wake up call, okay? If I'm gonna pick on JJ Truitt. All right. JJ Truitt took the test, the practice test. She almost passed all of it. Okay. She could have potentially won in April if she just retook the couple things that she didn't pass. Right. Well, there wasn't a test in April because Corona, right? So, um, I've heard from her, but let's say I haven't heard from JJ at all. I've heard from her. That's why I'm using her. I have heard from her. She has done work. No harm, no foul. I would never call out the actual person that I have not heard from at all, because that would be embarrassing, and that's not who I am. So say I had not heard from JJ Truitt at all, and she was eking that close to being able to take the test, and they go ahead and open up a test in July, and they're talking about it. They're talking about doing it right here at our center. And that's because they might have it in the vocational center still, because the vocational school has corrals, these little things that separate, when you're taking a test. They're also talking about having it right here in the middle of July. If I hadn't heard from her since when we gave that test, which was Valentine's Day, I would have to drop her by the end of the month and re-add her as a new student if she showed back up in July. And that means she would have to take her locator, she'd have to take a new tape, and she'd have to accumulate 30 more hours before she would be eligible to test. Yeah, that's why the Greg got your email. That would upset me. If I were a student, that would upset me. But really, is that Corona's fault? Is that my fault? Is that the state's fault? Is that the federal government Department of Ed fault? No, that would be JJ's fault because Lord knows they have bent over backwards in crazy ways to allow for you to communicate with us, to do paper packets, to accumulate hours by watching videos and just commenting. To accumulate hours just by calling and checking in with us so that you don't drop off the roster. Okay? Don't drop off the roster. I can't pad the roster. I can't pad attendance. That's illegal. Love y'all, but I'm not losing my job. I mean, illegal in a way that I would lose my job and I would lose my certification and wouldn't be able to teach adult ed anymore. No, no, not doing that. Okay. So you have to attend. You have to go to essentialed.com/start, RESA 2, and do distance learning. You can also do Edgenuity. And I've learned the hard way over this break that y'all don't like Edgenuity. Edgenuity is redhead stepchild of distance learning. You guys just don't like her. She gets the heel part of the loaf of bread every time with her sandwich. Don't quite get it, but you guys don't like Edgenuity. Okay. Another way that you can stay in the game is doing any of the, like, bring your A game to work, which we're going to do as Teams on the Teams platform. And Teams is just like this, or Zoom, or GoMeeting, or any of those other ones. It uses Microsoft Office. And because it's been around so long, there's a lot of integration. A lot of the education apps actually just fold right in there. Like, I could show a PowerPoint without having to download a bunch of other stuff. And you guys can actually respond to me at the bottom of the PowerPoint without having to download it and keep it on your own machine and then re-upload it. You can just answer it there on the screen. Just click on the little bar that's down at the bottom. It'll be like right here down at the bottom, little bar, and you just type me an answer. And I'm the only one that sees your answer. So it works with Google Meet a little. I'm kind of aggravated at the Google platform right now because we're not a K through 12 and you all didn't have .edu email addresses. There was a bunch of free stuff that a lot of classes got that you guys didn't get, and that wasn't fair. So I'm like, I'll go ahead and keep the Google Classroom, and I'll keep my little Gmail email address over there for you guys to submit essays to if you want. But that aggravated me. You guys are students just like the college students and just like the K through 12. So that aggravated me. So we're going to use Teams. I think you guys will like how easy it is to use once you get there. Also, it'll be really, really easy for you to submit work to me, even on your phone. Okay, there is a phone app for Teams. If for some reason your email address, the new one, the ccwva.org email address got lost in the mail, or you didn't get it because you can't get in that email address anymore, call Sherry. She took the day off today. She and I both have accumulated so much paid time off. We never take it, and she took a day today. So, you might not be able to get a hold of her today, but eventually, tomorrow you'll be able to. Call Sherry or email me or text the center phone, and I will work on that for you. It's really, really important that you get that done, though, especially if you live way out in the nowhere land and you need to accumulate hours, but it's hard for you to drag yourself all the way in from West Creek, Jimmy. Or it's difficult for you to find somebody to watch the babies and drag yourself down from Murfreesville, Farrell, Shella. You can just sit at home. And if I could see that you over here in the attendance box and you answer some questions and blah, 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 then you've attended, right? And then if you reach out to me and say, I got that, but I didn't get it, and I need some extra help, and can you send me some worksheets? I can either send you digital stuff or I can send you paper worksheets, okay? So, in that vein, I'm going to stop talking. I'm going to wait and see if anybody shows up to this live, and of course, no one is going to. And I'm going to keep it up till about 2:45, and then I'm going to close it. So. Nobody's still.